Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The purpose of this video today is to give you a basic introduction of where we're going next, and that is going to be drawing some geometry constructions and seeing how we use construction tools in geometry to make diagrams of certain things like triangles, certain types of angles, lines, using what are traditional geometry construction tools. So there are certain parts of this video that you need to write down, make sure you're paying close attention, and then there are some that I just want you to see prior to what we come and do in class, okay? So the first thing I need you to write down though is that you understand that a construction means something. It means more than just to make, okay? In geometry, we're talking about drawing a geometry figure or some kind of item using only a compass and a straight edge. So those are the parameters, or those are the things that are allowable to us. You are not allowed to measure angles with a protractor or segments with a ruler. All we're talking about is taking it and drawing a diagram using just two simple tools where there are exactly no numbers involved, okay? We have no numerical measurements at all during the construction process. So the tools of a geometry construction involve a compass, like I said before, which is one of those little guys you see on the side, not the type that tells you north, south, east, or west, okay? That's the geometry compass. And a straight edge, which is a guide for the pencil to draw straight lines. For our purposes, we're probably going to use a ruler, but we're not allowed to actually measure physically using the ruler. The only thing we're doing is allowing that ruler to help us draw straight lines. The compass is going to help us draw arcs or pieces of circles that are going to be used in the process of drawing a geometry construction. Okay, why do we study constructions? Why do we care to do this? In the book of the Elements, Euclid used construction techniques extensively. So imagine geometry is really, really new. In fact, it's just being communicated to the world, how all these figures come about, the theorems, the postulates, the vocabulary. And that book that was first written, the Elements, most of the diagrams were shown with constructions. So people had to understand what constructions were and why they worked. And this book became the basis for what we know of as geometry in high school. The class you're currently in is based on this book and the teachings of this book, right? And how all these theorems fall into play, how we can use them in real life, come later. But performing that construction provides insight into the geometry concepts that we're talking about. You might understand more thoroughly what an equilateral triangle is, how it works, if you have to construct it yourself. And of course, constructions give us the tools to draw things when indirect measurement or when direct measurement is not appropriate. So we have to use some sort of indirect measurement. Well, if we can create a perfect scale model on paper using beautiful construction techniques, right? Then we can then elaborate that to the bigger scale in the case of indirect measurement. So these are all the things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be making some geometry constructions. We're going to be talking about why they work, what we're doing with them, how they all come into play here. And we get used to using those tools then as a method for understanding geometry. So I want to take us now to a little site that will get us to understand a little bit more of what we're doing. I'm going to exit out of here for a minute. And this site is basically an animated version of the constructions, many of which we're going to do in class. But I wanted to show you just a couple basic ones here. We're going to use these a lot. We're actually going to do this one in class here, so you don't have to worry about writing this part down. But we're going to talk about how do you construct a segment bisector, how do you make sure that you have a right angle using just a compass and a straight edge. How can you divide something in half? How can you ensure that it's a 90-degree angle? And there's a step of basically steps here. There's a list of steps that we would go through to make this construction happen. I'm just going to play this for you so you can see these are the types of things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be using our compass to make X's on diagrams, connecting them, drawing the straight line. In this case, this is a segment bisector, and it also creates that 90-degree corner. It's what we would call a perpendicular bisector. So notice how the compass was used to draw those arcs. Notice how the straight edge was used to basically connect the little X's, if you will. And notice how there were no measurements involved. We didn't just say, well, that segment's 4.5 inches and we're going to cut it in half by finding the middle, okay? We're going to use our tools to help us find the middle. So that's what a geometry construction is. That's what I'd like you to sort of come into class understanding, is that we're going to be using those tools to help us make these constructions. For the purpose of doing the constructions, I have some compasses and straight edges that you can use. You don't need to bring your own, but if you do have your own, or you have a set of an older sibling and you wanted to bring them, that would be fine, and then you could learn how to use that particular set that you have. Okay, so I want to thank you for taking good notes again today, ladies and gentlemen. As always, wonderful job, and I'll see you later.